JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 13th of July 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff. But before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest, and we can continue. Okay, so now then, also just before we jump into the charts, the usual quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website, and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yep, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now let's jump into the charts now. A quick update on what's happening here with the German DAX. So this morning I talked about these two levels here, the high of last week and the high of June. So what I was saying, that in a way we needed to see a nice good pop above the highest point of June in order to kind of aim for some higher levels, and that level is around the 12,913 zone. We didn't really get that. We got a test of the last week's high, and you can see that the index is kind of, although it is still in the positive territory, but it's currently still getting held by these two barriers. So in a way, in order for us to get excited about higher levels, yep, we need to see a clear breakthrough both of those. This basically, the fact that it's just getting a hold up here today is just kind of strengthening this resistance area, and if we do get a break above it, then yes, we could consider some higher levels. But first, like I said, let's wait for that confirmation break, and if we do see something like that, then yes, this would confirm a forthcoming higher high and more buyers could be joining in. Now in terms of the downside, if in case this continues to hold, and this in a way could lead to some declines here, but probably the bears should not get way too excited yet, because in a way, even if it drifts a little bit lower here, still, as long as the price remains above this upside support line taken from the low the 19th of March, still there is a possibility for this one to rebound from this upside line and make its way up again. So again, something to keep in mind, but still the more comfortable level, after a break of which we could aim for some lower levels here, would come from around 11,957 zone, because at the same time the price could get placed below the 200-day EMA here. Now jumping into NASDAQ 100 now, with this one here, I mean, if we look at the cash index and where it is currently sitting at, the cash index is balancing near the 10,950 territory. So basically, we'll have a large opening gap here to the upside, a new all-time high already. So, yep, big, all eyes are kind of on this big level near the 11,000 territory. So let's see if we get that area hit today. But to be honest, I mean, we are it is very similar as we had here, for example, in the beginning of this year, before the end of February, I should say mid-February, where the index was just accelerating non-stop, and well, and then it kind of, there was a crash, of course, as we remember this one right here from around the mid-February till around mid-March, and yep, that was a devastating one. But again, we are seeing something similar again. We are seeing this huge rally. The big question, how far and how long can it last without kind of, let's say, correcting significantly? So that's why for now it's a little bit tricky. Yes, we are still positive, but yeah, we are very careful, because again, it might continue traveling higher. Don't get me wrong, it could, and it has got kind of the full potential to do so. However, let's be very careful, and we do understand that at some point we will have a bit of a correction here to the downside, but for now it seems that it's quite difficult to find that possible level. Again, what we can do here is, let's say for example, keep our eyes on the low of last Friday, and that's roughly near the 10,640 zone. A nice drop below this in a way may open the door towards lower areas, but again, we will reevaluate the index again if we see something like that. But in addition to that, from the short-term perspective, what you could do, because we're going to have a nice opening gap here today to the upside, keep your eyes on the high of last week, basically the 10,848 territory, or sorry, 10,843 territory. A drop below it could maybe signal that little correction to the downside. However, still we'll remain very careful and cautious here, especially with the downside, because for now it's just one-way traffic, again, the same as we had here in the beginning of the year. So that's why let's be very careful, guys, because like I said, at some point we will get this correction, but for now it's a little bit difficult until we get a clear kind of break here through one of our support levels. Silver is popping nicely to the upside. This morning I talked about silver, and yep, finally it's kind of moving higher here, and it's breaking above this 1904 territory, and yep, or sorry, I was talking about gold this morning, but nevertheless, similar story here. We are still trading above this short-term upside support line taken from the low of the 7th of May, but the most important thing is that we are now popping nicely above this 1904 territory, basically the high of last week, and also the previous highest point of this year. And yep, it's now creating a new high for this year. What I was talking about previously last week when I was covering the silver was that if we do get eventually a nice good pop above this area somewhere, then yes, the next target for us is the 19.65 zone, roughly around there, marked near the highest point of September 2019, or in other words, the highest point of 2019. So yep, that's what we're gonna be aiming for now, and if we do reach that area, we'll see how it performs around there. Now, quick update on Litecoin. I've looked at this one a while ago, and with Litecoin here, you can see that the crypto, it did correct lower a little bit last week. However, it still remained above this 21-day EMA, which could be seen as a positive. Another positive here is that the crypto is trying to make its way above the 100-day EMA, shown as here as a green line, which is happening right now. So great news for the buyers. However, still probably more of those buyers could be joining in if we do get a push above the high of last week, which is around the 45.92 territory. And this way, the Litecoin would confirm a forthcoming higher high, and the next target for us could be here. Now, the ideally we would like to see a test of the highest point of June near the 50.13 zone, but don't get me wrong, we could get a hold up initially near the 200-day EMA, so watch out for that one first. And if we do overcome that easily, then yes, the next target is the highest point of June near the 50.13. Jumping into AUDCAD. Now this one, I looked at this one well last week and a week before that. Basically, I was talking about a lot about this barrier right here, the 0.94 26 territory, roughly around here. And what I was saying, that if we get a nice pop above it and we get a nice daily close above it, then yes, it could continue moving higher, because the next target for us was the 0.9615 zone, which is marked near the highest point of April 2019. You can see that the pair did drift higher. However, it found very good resistance here, near one of these levels that I also mentioned, the 0.9457, and it's currently kind of getting a hold up there, although we are seeing these overshoots. Still, neither of the daily candle is able to kind of end its day above this level. So for now, we're keeping a close eye on this, and in a way, what we could do here is just kind of increase this highlighted area here, just to kind of show it where we are right now. And basically, yes, there is a possibility for this one to move further north. However, if this pair struggles to overcome the 0.9457 territory and fails to close at least a daily candle above it, then, well, I mean, this could turn out maybe a little bit ugly for this pair, and especially if it starts falling below the 21-day EMA, which this is shown as the yellow line here, which kind of successfully has been acting as a good area of support. So that's why keep your eyes on this one, guys. Very interesting situation right now here. It, in a way, on one hand, yes, it still wants to, it seems that it wants to travel higher. On the other hand, it might be a little bit overstretched already, so maybe the bears could come in. However, as I said, if it starts falling lower here, back below the 0.9426 territory and below the 21-day EMA, now this is where it could turn out to be a little bit ugly, at least in the short run for this pair. USDCAD. Now here the situation is a little bit difficult here. I mean, the pair is still stuck, I would say, maybe not in the range, but just for now stuck roughly between these two levels, the 1.3488 here on the downside and the 1.3624 on the upside. So basically, we need to see a clear breakthrough one of those areas, one of those levels, before kind of, let's say, aiming for the next directional move. So if we do get a drop below this key area of support near the 1.3488, then yes, we will aim for the lowest point of June. We're not going to drag this one way too much to the downside. We're just going to aim for that lowest point of June first, near the 1.3314. However, if we do get a nice strong move above this barrier here, the 1.3624, in a way this could increase the chances for this pair to move higher, but the bulls should still be very careful, because we do have this downside line taken from the high of the 31st of March, which could, in a way, continue to provide resistance. So that's why keep your eyes on this, guys. For now, it's a little bit of a tricky one. So, but if once it gets through one of these levels, this is when it could become a little bit more interesting. Now, jumping into euro against the Turkish lira. Now, this is something that I haven't looked at for quite a while, but as you can see from the technical side, this is becoming quite interesting, because as you can see now, the pair is kind of testing this key area of resistance near the 7.7960 level. So, or in a way, we could round it up towards the 7.80 territory. So the pair is currently kind of, let's say, coming close to this again. As you can see, the all-time high for this pair is was reached this year in May, and that was hit near the 7.8538 level. Let me just quickly click on the all figure here. Oh, I do apologize. That's that's the highest point of this year. So the all-time high for this pair is still near 8.0132 level, reached in August 2018, guys. So yep, my apologies on that one. But yes, the highest point of this year was near the 7.8538 level. So let's see if the pair can actually go ahead and test that area again. But if that fails to provide resistance, if the highest point of May of this year fails to provide resistance, then a break of it may open the door towards that, of course, that psychological 8 level and the all-time high near the 8.0132 zone. So, well, keep your eyes on that one. Like I said, for now, looking at this picture, as you can see, it seems to be forming a possible, forming an ascending triangle. So, which, of course, according to all the TA rules, tends to break to the upside. Now, quick update on EURCHF. This is what I talked about this morning in my video, and I was telling you guys that keep your eyes on this pair, because we have broken the upper side of the falling wedge, and yep. During the morning video, we broke this already. We had this on this upper side of the triangle broken already, but the rate kind of drifted back down and ended near, kind of was trading at that point near this upper side of this wedge. But today, as you can see, the bulls kind of continued to push this one further, and yep, we're now seeing a nice move here, kind of everything according to all the TA rules. And now, of course, our target will be near this 200-day EMA, as I said this morning, near the 1.0735 mark, so approximately around there. So that's what we're going to be aiming for at the moment. We'll see how it performs around here, but if it wants to continue pushing her further north, then yes, we'll reevaluate this again. But like I said, for now, everything is working out according to the plan that I've mentioned, that I talked about this morning. So let's see if it can, like I said, if it can reach this 200-day EMA, because that's going to be my target for now. And finally, Euro USD. So here the pair is moving nicely to the upside. So this morning I was telling you to keep a close eye on this one, because yes, on one hand everything's kind of looking quite positive here. However, we need that confirmation break, and ideally a daily close above the 1.1353 territory before kind of, let's say, getting excited with higher levels. Because as you can see, last week, for example, we did get an overshoot here above the 1.1353, but the bears kind of quickly pushed the candle back down here, and yep, it ended the day well in the red. So today we are seeing some increased bullish activity. So let's see if the bulls have enough steam to kind of get the rate above the 1.1353 level again, and if they manage to keep this daily candle above it as well. So if they do, then yes, higher levels could be met again. So yeah, guys, keep your eyes on this one. Initially we'll aim for the highest point of June near the 1.1422, and if that gets broken, then of course then we'll aim for the current highest point of this year near the 1.1496. So guys, I really hope you found it useful. So thank you very much for watching and listening, and yep, I hope, like I said, you found it useful, and I hope you stay safe, guys, both market wise and health wise, and yeah, join my video tomorrow morning, my Traders Espresso, as always, 6 o'clock GMT time. For now, have a wonderful evening, and bye-bye.